about what you do for a living. Obviously, you're a farmer.
Yep, I farm. I'm a carpenter.
A good carpenter, too.
I try to be. But my main hobby is living history,
And educating people,
and
teaching them about living
that
history.
involves educating people, educating the public. Yep.
And we've got an event called the Timeline Event, and it
Right.
involves getting people to walk through a portal back into history
Yep.
and experiencing it. Have you seen any of those portals around here?
Yes.
Where's one close?
The other side of this tractor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Walk through it for me, would you? We're going to take them back to
We'll do that.
1820.
All right.
Nope. He came through.
I made it.
Here he is. And that's a mountain man, folks. So what are they going to see when they meet you and all your cronies at the Timeline event?
Well, it's 1825, and so you're going to see us tanning hides. You might see us cooking something over the fire. We'll be talking about our guns and our powder horns, our knives, our buckskins.
You'll be shooting the guns too, won't you?
We could shoot the guns if you want us to.
Oh, I don't think anybody can stop you normally.
No. No.
And the other things you're going to see is 1804 Lewis and Clark.
Yep.
And then we're gonna jump clear ahead towards the Civil War, the 1850s, 1860s.
You'll have Fort Atkinson there, which is...
Fort Atkinson is 1827, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll have the soldiers, the Army soldiers from Fort Atkinson.
And then us, the civilians.
And these are all dedicated people that have done it and done it and done it for 20, 30 years and know their stuff.
Right.
And when somebody comes up to you and asks you a question, for instance, if somebody were to come up to you and say, hey, how does that rifle work? I don't see, do you put bullets under to what? You could very quickly demonstrate it, show it to them, and give them all the information they need.
Exactly.
To understand your time period and your time frame.
This is a flintlock. So you have the flint and the jaws there, and you have the frizzen. So we would load our powder down the barrel, and then put the ball down there, take out the ramrod, ram it home, seat it in there all the way. And then you take little priming horn, and I would prime the pan here, close that, and remember it's the flint striking the hardened steel,
And you get a spark.
and you get a spark, and that's what ignites the main charge.
And that's the kind of stuff you're going to learn, folks, at our Timeline event. Thanks, buddy. You wanna go back to 2022 and get to farming today?
Today, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Apartment that had a blanket laid over it. You could walk over it, you could ride a horse over it, you could take a wagon over it. If you're in a wheelchair, I suppose you could put your wheelchair over it. Very easy crossing of the Continental Divide. Only problem was, he knew it was a good pass, but when he got back to St. Louis to report his find to William Clark, he said, hey, I found a great place to cross the Continental Divide. William Clark says, where was it? He says, west of the Platte River. He says, the South Platte River or the North Platte River? Robert Stewart didn't know that there was South Platte and North Platte River. He said, I don't know, out here west of the Platte River. So William Clark made a notation, but he couldn't pinpoint it on the map.
Learning about some of the events that have transpired before now, is more poignant than it may have been in decades past. It's still important information, and I believe that there are 2 and possibly even now 3 generations that can learn from some of the stuff we can share.
And it's a different type of learning as well. You're able to see it, to touch it, to smell it, to hear it. It's not just reading names and dates out of a textbook. This makes it real in even just some small little fashion.
We oftentimes are called reenactors. Unfortunately, that's erroneous. What we are doing is living history, which is the daily life occupation. They get to see behind the scenes of what life was actually like for these people that came before us. It was tough. It was hard. But they didn't look at it as unusually tough and hard because that was their reality. They were living in the moment with it. And so I think it's, and we can also do what is called third person. We can talk to them in 2022. If it's just first person, they're going to miss a lot. Like Plymouth
Yep.
in Massachusetts.
Plymouth
You
or
walk on
Williamsburg.
site, it's first person, that's all you get. And I had somebody who had experienced Plymouth, and they came here and they thanked me afterwards for not having to go through that experience again, that they could get their questions asked.
Unfortunately, we all, in school, we are taught history so we can pass a test, and we lose a lot of the humanity in the process.
And technology has progressed so far, even within the last 30 years, that someone who is born today, you hold up the telephone that you or I were using 20 years ago,
There's a disconnect.
complete disconnect. Now take that back 5, 6, 7 more generations, and they just don't have a concept for what the things that were used in daily life were, because things have changed so much. This enables being able to ask the living historians who have done the experimental archaeology, who've done the research, enables them to put 2 and 2 together between seeing an item and understanding.
We make something 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional.
Yes.
And you mentioned about, yes, we maybe erroneously refer to as reenactors. I refer to it as recreation. When I mention about when I might identify myself in the field, I'll refer to myself as Captain Baker of 1st U.S. Rifle Regiment Recreated. But it is more unique because most everything that we might use or wear is provided either by our own selves or is part of a cottage industry.
It's a constant research procedure, and as you acquire new, you put in those new developments and new research that has come to light that become part of it.
Oh, bonjour, monsieur. So I will take a few moments and explain the musket that I am carrying. This is an Indian trade gun, manufactured in London by a company called Wilson. It's a flintlock. can tell it's an Indian trade gun. It has the trademark snake engraved on the side here. Now this is a flintlock. People will often ask me, what's a flintlock? It's called a flintlock because it's got a piece of flint right here. It's a hard stone that, if you're very lucky as the shooter, will strike this frizzen, which flips down like that, make sparks, and I'll show you the loading process, and then hopefully hit some gunpowder you have right here, and then connect with the gunpowder down the barrel. Anyway, you've heard the term lock, stock, and barrel. Well, this is kind of some of the same actions they had in the old clock, so it's called, well, a lock, or in the old locks, not clocks. So that's the way that is. It's called a lock. You got a stock, you got a barrel. Okay? Now, you've heard the term going off half-cocked. This musket's on half-cock. That's the safety. So if I'm pulling the trigger and nothing's happening, it's safe. But if it happened to pull the trigger and for some reason the gun discharges, that's called going off half-cocked. These are terms that we have picked up over the years, and we have no idea what they mean anymore. So why would I be preferring to carry this instead of a rifle like a lot of the Americans carry? I can do several things with this. I can fire a round ball out of this, 60 caliber. It's a big round lead ball. Or I can pour shot down and turn this into a shotgun for hunting birds, rabbits, squirrels. Or I can make it a deadly weapon by putting one large round 60 caliber ball down the barrel here with 3 buckshot behind it. It's a technique known as buck and ball. But the versatility of this weapon is what I like about it, because if you're out hunting for food and you can't get a deer or you can't get a buffalo here in the Midwest, what do you go for? Small game. You still have to eat.
It's a spirit among people who do this. We're a weird breed of cat.
The distance between now and back to the time that we recreate is knowing that there have been things that have been lost because of the modern.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we are in the point of recreating something that previously existed. Again, research, what we discovered, and then being able to discern what is even just slightly different.
Camp out about anywhere we want to do. We have our canteens, we have our bedrolls, we have our food, sewing kits, our starting kits, anything you would, necessity that you would need to survive in the woods, wilderness.
And you're about what time period?
1800 to 1840.
18. Okay. And you would have been in what geographical area of the country?
Most of it happened in the Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains, okay. Nothing in the Ozarks? That was...
that would have probably been earlier than our time period.
I see.
In our study, we find out, in some ways, how they used to think about things. Very keen about energy saving. Everything from where you're walking with what in your hands and all the way down to how to make a candle last longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so all that becomes very prescient to the individual that we're recreating. Try to bring that to the light of the visitor that comes to an event, such as a timeline. Might seem a bit daunting, but it's not hard if you're in a setting that is not industrialized, and you can actually draw them back in time, if you will. Let them focus on just where you're at. And if we bring something out that looks primitive, and they want to know what that is, we'll explain that nothing to replace it has been invented yet, so this is what I have to use.
Process, he's going to be bucking that hide, turning it into leather. Which this is because Indians did it a little different, but we're doing the end process. It's the same. Indian dress hides. crane here so I can dry scrape it. So I'm just fishing the rope through. And then it's going to dry out, and here in a couple hours I'll start scraping the flesh off of this side. By that time the whole thing will be pretty well dried, and I'll flip it over and start scraping the hair off the other side.
Doing another round, here we go.
It looks good.
Hey Kyle. I think I got fire again.
I've had numerous people ask me if I ever felt like I was born in the wrong century, if I was living, if I would be more comfortable living what I'm doing now. You mentioned about the hardships. I'm comfortable with being a 21st century individual recreating 18th century, 19th century examples.
I would encourage them to attend and encourage them to spread the word to all of their friends to come and visit, because they will never see anything exactly the same. Innovations have taken place, self-improvement in our presentations, and the presentations are different because you are asked different questions. Interactions with people have improved with our own experience
And
of
research.
just simply doing this. So it is a time in a bottle, and we throw the bottle out into the ocean of the public, and hopefully they grab a hold of a little bit of it and keep it to take home.
Yes, and when they open it, stand back just a little bit. Because if it's been in there a while, it may jump out at you. What I would do is invite anyone who hears this, sees this, to come and visit. If you have visited the previous years, come and bring someone else with you. And watch their eyes light up when they see something explained for the first time, or hear the sounds of the different things we demonstrate, from hammering on an anvil to firing a flintlock. These are all parts of our history that they need to experience and feel and smell for themselves. And there would very likely be the opportunity to perhaps even feel and see close up.
And take part themselves.
Exactly.
Help to make history, make the journey from the book to reality. Make it real.
Indeed.
See what Doug goes through to make videos for us?